Thank you. Listening to the responses that both of you gentlemen have provided my colleagues on this committee, I am reminded of one of my granddaughters, age 4. When she knows she's done something wrong, she just shuts her eyes and says, "You can't see me." Well, we can all see what happened. The problem is no one is taking responsibility other than horrible consumer service and apologies. There's a Kansas saying, never lie unless you have to, and if you don't have a damn good lie, stick to the truth. Seems to me we need some real truth tellers here. And facts are stubborn things, and what we have here is targeted harassment and abuse of conservative groups. We can talk about the statute all day long, but that's what has happened. And as we hear daily from others, many who simply have contributed to the candidate of their choice or stated personal views. I think that's very significant. Nobody likes to be audited, and nobody likes to say they have been audited, especially with what has been going on. So what we have on our hands is abuse, harassment, and the suppression of the First Amendment rights, and nobody owning up to it. Now, the fact of the matter is that the IRS has been operating in a highly politicized manner for at least 3 years. 3 years ago, a top economic advisor to the White House divulged confidential tax information regarding a privately held company in order to make a political point. I asked the IG for Tax Administration for a response. We never heard back. Never heard back at all. Not late, just didn't hear back. Last year, members of this committee, as Senator Hatch has indicated, hearing a growing number of complaints, asked if individuals or groups were being singled out or targeted in the application process. Here's the letter that you sent to me and other members of the committee. It's the same letter, different names. Might want to look up, you'll see this. It's 10 pages long, single space, about 12 point. At any rate, completely silent on targeting, but full of a detailed analysis of the law. But you knew that targeting was going on. I just don't think you do that. That really befuddles me as to why anybody in a position like you or basically Mr. Shulman would ever do that, just not respond. You also said that the Determinations Office was simply trying to find a more efficient way to process a huge number of exemption applications. Here we have Cincinnati, IRS officials milling about, doing their best but falling short, foolish actions, need more money, need more lawyers. This may have been foolish, but given what I know about the IRS operates, I find it very hard to believe that the IRS employees were given free rein to set up a BOLO list, be on the lookout list, like law enforcement. There must have been a directive from Washington or something. We need full disclosure of how this has happened. There was a news report quoting an anonymous Cincinnati IRS employee. Now, they've been taking a lot of grief here. And accordingly, this quote was attributed to this anonymous IRS employee. Well, we've had all the problems with this, and we knew that it was wrong. We knew there would be hell to pay. We also knew that when it hits the fan, nobody at the top will take the blame. It'll come right down the slide right to us. Well, I'd like to at least have somebody, Lois Lerner, the lady who doesn't do math but can, plant a question, Sarah Hall Ingram, who's now going to be working for the Affordable Health Care Act office, and that's my next question if we go to another round, is how on earth we do that with 15,000 new employees trying to administer the Affordable Health Care Act with a lot of specific questions. Let's move up to Joseph Grant, who's the Deputy Tax Commissioner. We're not going to hear from him. He retired. Mr. Miller, you've apologized, and then you were leaving. Mr. Shulman, you are 6 months out, so can't remember. Mr. Wilkins, the Chief Counsel of IRS, he is not here, but he probably should be here. And then the Secretary of the Treasury, Jacob Lew. It went right up there. And then finally to Catherine Rumler, who is the White House General Counsel. Do any of these folks, and yourself included, ever say what was going on and take responsibility? I just have not seen that. My follow-up question will be in regard on how on earth can the IRS have proper oversight and management to the implement of the Affordable Health Care Act given the current situation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.